Hi mate, so this is a video about how to choose the weights correctly. Obviously, we're not going to see it in the gym, and it's something a lot of people aren't sure about. And the way we judge it is using something called RPE scale. Rate of perceived exertion is what that stands for, and that basically just means how difficult you find something. And this scale allows you to put a number to it. So if we look through here, right, from the bottom up, 1 to 4, very light effort. That's probably going to be like your warm up reps, and then you'll maybe do another warm up set at like 5 to 6 RPE, and then on the program it'll say on quite a few of the exercises it'll say RPE 8 out of 10, for example. So that is, if it's 8 out of 10, that means you could finish your set and you had 2 more reps in the tank. If it was RPE 7, 3 more reps in the tank, etc. etc. So you can see what each number stands for. 10 out of 10 is maximum effort. You couldn't do any more. Now, what you'll find when you look at the program is, generally speaking, we're usually working between 7 and 9 out of 10. And this takes practice and experience and a wee bit of trial and error. So don't worry if you don't get it right from the start. But after you've been training very well, you'll have an idea of your strength levels on different exercises, and you'll know, you'll be able to pick the weights based on that. Now, the reason we generally are going to be working between sort of 7 and 9 is, well, there's a few different things. First up, if you finish a set and you had another rep in the tank, another 2 reps in the tank, what that generally means is your technique is going to be pretty good the whole way through, which is important when we're trying to get stronger. If you've trained before, you have experience of when you do a rep and you get to like 10 out of 10 RPE, and you really have to grind the rep out, and quite often you'll find your technique breaks down a wee bit to get the rep in, which doesn't, it's not terrible doing that, but it doesn't teach you to lift weights properly as well as it would do if you're leaving a rep or two in the tank. Also, from a safety point of view, if you're doing an exercise like a bench press where safety is important, you don't want to get pinned under the bar. If you've got a rep in the tank, you're going to safely be able to rear at the bar. If you're not sure and you're hitting 10 out of 10 or going beyond that and the weight's too heavy, it can be a wee bit dangerous. So we want to stay within that. Um, and another thing is as well, like, for you to, when it comes to building muscle, one of the most important things is through time, you are gradually doing more reps and you're doing more weight through time. If you're always working at 10 out of 10 RPE, then you'll probably find you start to get stuck at a certain number of weights, a certain number of reps, and you can't make progress with your program. Whereas if you start off at RPE 7 in the first week of the program, it's going to be quite easy for you to make progress, which is important. It means in the next week you could probably do another rep, or you could do a lift a heavier weight, or both. Um, and the last thing as well to consider as well, you probably found, if you've ever trained before in the past, if you go a wee bit too heavy in the first set, let's say you're supposed to be doing 3 sets of 10. If you go a bit too heavy in the first set, let's say your first set you do 10 out of 10 RPE, you usually find you can get all the reps in the first set, and then you're too tired in the second set, so the number of reps drops, and then the number of reps drops on the last set. So instead of doing 3 sets of 10, you end up doing 10, then 8, then 7. So you're not getting all the reps in that you're supposed to get. Whereas if you do it such that the first set's relatively easy, and then it gets a bit tougher in the next set, and then the last set you can just get 10. That should get 3 sets of 10, which is going to benefit you more than doing like 10, 8, 7, for example. So, like I say, this requires practice and experience and trial and error. So don't worry if you're not nailing it from the start, but this is what you generally refer to when it comes to choosing the weights in your exercises. Any questions? As always, just drop us our email. Cheers.